and certainly one major challenge, I think, for chartered accountants in Australia and New Zealand, when you look at the audit standards, the suite of audit standards, which of course necessarily has become larger, broader, more complex over recent years, how you apply those in the case of SMEs or less complex entities often is a key concern. We're really excited about the work that the board has on the agenda around that. Tom, would you give me a sense from a high level? We're actually excited that it's an Aussie leading the project, Roger Simner, chair of our standards board here. But Tom, from a broader perspective, what are you seeing internationally around that, and what's your goal when it comes to that area?
So let me just say that in every walk of regulation, standard setting, people comment that things are becoming more complex. And I think in terms of accounting and audit standards, it's a reflection of the reality is that for certain strata of corporations, the world is just more complex these days. But in most in countries, that 85% or more companies are SMEs. So the question is, can the same set of standards really, should they apply to all companies writ large? And, and for us, we're trying to come to grips with two different things. Are our standards appropriate and applicable and easy to adopt for smaller, less complex entities? And are we just writing standards that are just too complex for everyone? And so what we've been trying to do is come up with an approach to tackle those two questions. And I'm hopeful at this upcoming meeting in March and then in June, we'll finally agree on an approach after much research, where we are right now is we're considering whether we could write a set of standards that would apply to less complex entities, and that they would be based along what we have today. Audit is an audit, but are they more easily navigable? Are some of the issues around documentation addressed in a reasonable way? And then can we write standards on a going forward basis that are more scalable for people and more understandable? I've always joked is that there's no need to write a sentence in 95 words, all in passive voice, where the most frequent item is a comma. So can we just write things in plain English?
Yeah.
And because if it's hard for us to understand in native English speaking countries, can you imagine what it's like to translate? So again, trying to figure out a way to write standards in a less complex fashion, but also dealing with specific needs of less complex entities. And this should not in any way undermine the full ISAs, and my view is that they have to apply to listed companies and PIs.
No, that's fantastic. We're certainly very excited about it.
Yeah,
plain English audit standards,
Yeah,
if you can crack that nut.
Yeah, well, it's certainly a big challenge ahead, but there's a real commitment, and I've been saying this, sometimes it's the time to study is over. It's the time to act on this challenge.
No, that's fantastic.